Hi everyone, it's Terry Nazon. How are you doing? And of course it's Sunday when I'm filming these little weekly scenarios. And of course our week ahead, well, it gets very exciting. First it gets a little bit tense because of course it's the full moon total eclipse. Lucky for us, it's only really kind of culminating over Australia and Africa, but its potency is felt nonetheless. Every full moon total eclipse has about the potency of 10,000 times a regular full moon. This is according to the ancient astrologers. And you have to have a really good background in ancient astrology to understand all the significance of today's astrology. You can't learn it on Google. I know a lot of you like to think you can, but you can't learn it on Google. So I'm going to look at my notes from time to time because I've written a lot here. This full moon total eclipse, of course, is in Saros series 119 and is the last total lunar eclipse in that series. Now, for our purposes of astrology, that's how NASA and the astrophysicists like to classify moon cycles, because every moon cycle belongs to a family of moon cycles. I know a lot of you like to think like it's just this moment in time, and no, it's all a dance in the skies. Everything repeats itself. We go in cycles. So this full moon total eclipse that occurs on Monday at 15 degrees Aquarius, of course, belongs to a family of moon cycles. And the last time a moon cycle occurred at 15 degrees Aquarius, if you look back, if you study your ephemeris, maybe you don't, but if you look back, it occurred on November 7th, 2016. What happened on November 8th, 2016? It was the United States elections. Every full moon is going to culminate a cycle. It's going to complete a cycle. It's like the crescendo of a cycle. So I guess we can expect some fallout or to learn something new. You know, lots like we have been drip, drip, drip. About those elections and what went down. We're also curious to know. So if you have anything in your chart at 15 degrees, anything, so what you do is you just look at your chart. This is Sunday's chart. So you look at your chart and you would go around and you would look for anything, let's say, at 15 degrees. So I see the vertex is there. And, well, Jupiter's at 17 degrees. That's kind of close, right? So anything within about 15 degrees range, this is what you want to look at on your free natal birth chart, which, of course, is available on my website, www.terrynazon.com. We've always given away the free natal birth chart. In fact, when I do somebody's chart, it breaks my heart to, throw it away or shred it. So I usually end up mailing it to people. That's just me. So anyway, let's get back to this full moon total lunar eclipse. This full moon total lunar eclipse, of course, is the last total lunar eclipse in Saros cycle 119. And that's significant because that tells us it's going to pack, a good punch. So we have to look and see what happens. Sometimes something will happen on the day of the eclipse. Sometimes eclipses just foretell or forewarn us about things that are going to happen. So we really need to look at this. So the next cycle in this lunar eclipse occurs in about May of 2018. So we go from November 7th to August 7th, and then we go into May. It kind of jumps around like that. So whatever happens on Monday, you can be sure you're going to revisit it in the month of May. So let's get back to what's going on this week, apart from the full moon total eclipse, which is very big news. We also have Helio Mercury entering Capricorn. And so I do sometimes like to put in these Helio movements because they talk about what's going on in the earth. And since we have Saturn also entering the sign of Capricorn, it means that the rules that are laid upon us could get stricter. So we also have the Sun in Leo is in conjunct the planet Pluto, who's in Capricorn. So I just want to take a moment and talk about the relationship between the sign of Leo and the sign of Capricorn. As you know, if you study your astrology, or maybe you don't, the sign of Leo represents children, creativity. In its worst sense, it's like arrogance and bossiness and dominatrix stuff, or dominating stuff. The sign of Capricorn, is very parental. It's about the rules, following the rules. So first thing we encounter after that full moon eclipse is we're going to have an inconjunct between the Sun and Pluto. So it's like having to discipline your children, or feeling that your children have gotten a little out of control, or something in your life. A lover, perhaps a significant other, has gotten a little out of control. And you may have to like lay down the law a little bit. That's what Pluto and Capricorn loves to do, lay down the law. So also we have the Sun in Mars in Leo. Mars in Leo is going to inconjunct Neptune. Anytime Neptune and Mars get together in the skies, if it's not a good aspect, it ain't nothing good going to happen. That's for sure. So here we get into some deception. But those two combinations of the Sun and inconjunct Pluto and Mars inconjunct Neptune will repeat themselves. And this is talking about scandals. This is talking about salacious stuff. This is talking about trying to get away with stuff. And it's talking about cover-ups and all kinds of stuff like that. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Because Mercury is standing stationary right now. We've got all the outer planets are retrograde. They will, my dears, go direct. Saturn will go direct. And of course, this is just going to come right back up. So if you are lying and cheating and trying to get away with something, you know, you have to be very careful under those planets. I'm just giving you that little bit of warning. So we also know that Mercury is stationary retrograde. It's standing still in the heavens because it's going to go retrograde this week. And of course, Mercury goes retrograde, you know, 3-4 times a year, nothing big there. It just gives us another opportunity to go over things again and again. And here in the sign of Virgo, Mercury just loves to go over things again and again and again. So if you're fighting with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mate, your partner, your spouse, well, expect to hear the same thing over and over again. It's annoying. So Venus is also in a beautiful aspect to the planet Neptune, which of course is loving and it's very creative. It's a nice flow. So while we got those tense aspects in the beginning of the week, so as we get towards the end of the week, things kind of lighten up, really kind of lighten up, because the Sun, which is our joie de vivre, our center of life gravity, our life force, what makes us happy, is in a great aspect to the planet Jupiter, just in time. And both the sign of Leo, again, which I've gone over with respect to it being like children and creativity, but it's also romance, it's that happiness. And when it gets into an aspect with Jupiter in Libra, which is about relationships, it makes for even more letting go and ability to take chances on love. So we all need a little bit of that, because Venus is in Cancer and it's sort of like sticking to its own crowd and its own favorite places and haunts. So here we might find that we'll get out a little bit more, we'll be a little more happy, maybe we'll take a few chances on love and we'll just decide to be happy. And of course the weekends with the Sun trine Saturn retrograde. Saturn retrograde is just going over and over and over, 21 degrees. So again, you look at your chart, you look for 21 degrees because that's where Mr. Saturn is. And he just loves to cause blockages and say, no, you can't go there. So here we go again. But this time, Mars is in a beautiful aspect to the planet Saturn. And so just with a little bit of effort, everything could go well. I'm signing off for now, and you know you can read your daily horoscopes, your weekly horoscopes, and your monthly horoscopes. And should you require more information, because you are so much more than just a sun sign, you can always book your consultation with me online, on my website, on my scheduling app. And I love to speak to clients, I love to go over the charts, I love to teach astrology. So if there's something that you don't understand, give me a call, book an appointment, I'll be happy to go over it with you. Until next week, have a great week, and in the beginning of the week, watch out for those transits.